Hi, my name is Abigail Parker, and today I'm going to be talking about how texting undermines vocabulary and affects people's grammar. First, I would like to show you this, my visual aid. It's a picture of texting short codes like BRB, OMG, TTYL, and I'm going to talk about how this picture and the things that are on this picture can interfere with how you talk, text, spell, and it doesn't bring out a very good vocabulary for you. And I'm going to talk about how you can fix that and improve on those things. At the end of this speech, I would like you to be able to walk away from this with a few tips on how you can improve your spelling and use it in the correct grammatical way. To start, I want you to think about two things. I want you to think about how you use short codes before, like LOL, OMG, TTYL. I've also used the letter U instead of YOU, you as a person. And then the second thing I want you to talk about think about is how you've used them in text or conversations in daily lives, and how you've used them on tests and interviews, anything like that. So, studies show that researchers have found that texting undermines vocabulary and the correct grammatical way to use it. So, for example, using the word or the letter U, I've called myself on plenty of essays, especially coming back from school in the summer. I've typed in the word U or the letter U instead of YOU, instead of just using the full-on word. Sometimes I would use the little short codes in papers, and it's become a big problem. So, a researcher named Sengel says the use of texting shortcuts and hinders a person's ability to switch between text speak and normal rules of grammar. So you don't know what that researcher is trying to say is that you don't know when the proper time to use a short code text is, and they're being used in texting, and then you don't know the real grammar of the word. And it's caused a big problem in today's society. Okay, now that I've told you a few ways how it affects your spelling, I'm going to talk about how it doesn't always come across the way we interpret. It can be misinterpreted by others. So older generations of people don't know the meaning of texting short codes like LOL, which means laugh out loud, or TTYL, which means talk to you later, or GTG, got to go. So it can also come across confusing to others. And so instead of just texting the short codes, it's easier to just spell it out the way you want it to come across and to just use the full version of it. And it also builds your vocabulary. It also affects spelling on essays, tests, and destroys the way people it destroys the way of how to learn to spell the correct way. So now that I've told you a few things, I want to tell you a few tips or how it affects. Okay, I want to explain how to make it better. I hope you can walk away with a few tips that I have prepared right here for you. So a few tips are: don't use short codes. Try to stay away from them as often as you can, and if you have to use them to a minimum. Second, I'd like to take the time to spell out completely. Instead of saying you, just spell out YOU. And then for older generations, it causes a lot of confusion. Third, I'd like to, it helps you give it helps you build your vocabulary and learn how to spell the proper way for test essays. And you just become a lot smarter the more you use it. So I recommend using it instead of short codes to just spell it out. Take the time to do that. It's going to go the longer mile and people are going to understand you first. So with that said, I'm wrapping this up here that texting has undermined the way people talk, text, spell, and it's attributed to failing tests, dumbing down the way people spell, and it's really hurt society. And I hope you learned a few things from this.